It's Scarson Spikes, Sydney, Tyler, and Tommy with you, and the vibes are very good.
Really good.
I think. Really good.
Really good.
How's it going, guys?
2 wins in a row.
I know. I mean, that's unheard of. Unheard of in this economy.
We're in strange territory now, gentlemen.
Yes. Tommy, what do you think? You're like stunned silent right now. What do you think?
I think I'm hungover from all the happiness. Saturday was just so much emotion because it was. I think we've had wins earlier in the year, and you're like, "Cool, we won." And you go off this game from Seattle, where you just had a great game overall, unexpected, right? And then you go up against Nashville, and you know, I said it all last week. We were going to win this game, absolutely. Trash talk Nashville all week long. It only made sense that we were going to win that game, and then when we actually did, I was like, damn, we actually did this, and we did it convincingly. I mean, there was like really, besides like maybe the first like 8 minutes when they just kept playing with the ball and they really weren't doing much with it. Nashville just had complete control of the ball. After that, it was like, I'm just going to sit back and watch this masterpiece.
Yeah. So you're feeling good?
Oh, yeah. If you didn't take all that as me just being overly happy, yes, I'm very happy.
No, I mean, it's good to be happy. I mean, we haven't had a lot of opportunities to be overwhelmingly happy with this team. I mean, they haven't done themselves any favors, but then you beat a Seattle team that maybe not aren't as good as they were in past years, but still kind of in the discussion of the West on the road at Lumen Field, and then you come in at home against the top team in the East in Nashville, or not the top team in the East, I'm sorry. One of the top teams in the East in Nashville SC, and you just blow them out of the water 4-0. Their worst loss in club history, by the way. So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped. And now all Atlanta has coming up is the Supporter Shield leaders on Wednesday. I almost said winners, but
it's close.
At this point in time, they may as well be.
So we have, and Sydney, you've got quite a bit to spill. I got to give a quick shout out to the people that are ordering stickers because we immensely appreciate it. And you, if you haven't got your message that it's on the way, you're getting it tomorrow. So we have.
But where can we find these stickers? By the way,
they are. Well, first of all, the easy way to do it: go to scarvesandspikes.com website. We have one. Mm-hmm. It's great. And there is a link right there on the front page that says shop. I'm making this as easy
Can't miss it.
Can't miss it. But if you just want to go straight there, it is scarvesandspikes.etsy.com.
Yeah.
So,
and thanks for those that have bought some. Show them off on Twitter once you get them, or X. Show them off. Let us know where you stick them and let us know you got them. But yeah, it's a great way to support us, support the podcast, support the work we're doing. And yeah, really appreciate your support and really appreciate, again, those that have purchased. But again, scarvesandspikes.etsy.com is where you can buy those stickers.
I'm going to call
mine. I got mine in the mail.
I have mine as well.
Yeah, look at that.
I had mine hand delivered.
Sure, yeah, you really did. It was VIP.
Literally hand delivered by Tyler himself.
Well,
and that's
Tyler
for
doesn't like me enough.
Well, if I had the money to make my way on up to Ohio, I'd do it in a heartbeat, buddy. We'll go get a beer.
My kids saw it. He puts a nice little sticker on the envelope, and it's nice. And my kids ran in with it, and they're like, "Dad, you got merch! You got merch, Dad!" Because I buy them all their stupid merch from their YouTube stuff. So I was like, "Yeah, Dad's got merch now.
Hit the big time now." And I got to call out. There's 3 people that have our stickers in your cart. What are you waiting on? Just do it. I'm about to pull out like the classic, like
Nike.
Just do it. Yeah, Nike. Just do it.
Yeah, or
just do it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Or Shia LaBeouf.
Depending on what generation you grew up in. But yeah, Scarves and Spikes.
You got it.
R.I.P. Shia LaBeouf.
Yep. Scarves and Spikes at Etsy.com is how you buy those stickers. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes is another way you can support us. We're just getting all the plugs out of the way right off the bat. Had a chat with Boston from Cincinnati Soccer Talk.
Such a weird sentence.
Yeah.
That's a weird sentence.
Yeah, no, but Boston from Cincinnati Soccer Talk. We had a great conversation with him about FC Cincinnati, just sort of their journey to where they are right now. And look, they were literally the worst team in MLS when they first got here. Now they're pretty much on the verge of winning the Supporters Shield. Atlanta United can have a lot to say about that on Wednesday, but Boston sat down with us for about 20, 25 minutes and had a great chat with us. So again, patreon.com/ScarsandSpikes if you want to hear that conversation. Thank you, as always, to those of you who do support us. You see your names at the end of every show. Really appreciate it. And if you want in, just go to that website, patreon.com/ScarsandSpikes. And starting at $1.17 a month, you can get access to interviews like that, as well as our Discord, guys. We have a Discord for patrons, and it is popping, especially now.
We have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're a
going
growing
on.
community.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yep. Moving up.
And I
in the
think
world,
Tyler's going to start doing some hits from training up on there, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the plan.
Whenever I can make the schedule's crazy, but yes.
Yeah. No,
You got
definitely.
some updates straight from the training ground as opposed to, articles after the fact. Though I hope you do still read our articles. But yeah, videos. At least you'll have, if anything, you'll get to see the training ground in the background, and there you go. But no, we're just trying to bring you guys as much stuff as we can, as much stuff as humanly possible for the three of us to do. So we appreciate it.
Reading is so
Yes.
like 2000. Like now it's podcasts and
Yeah.
pictures and
Wow.
videos.
Who reads anymore?
Right.
Well, people read. I'm sorry to those of you that do read. I just offended people that
Offended
read.
basically everybody here. That's okay.
But I take it back. Yes, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and follow us on Patreon, like it says there, patreon.com/ScarsandSpikes. And with that, oh, by the way, we have a special guest tonight, guys. Or
We do.
on this show, that is. Who is it, Tommy? I feel like you want to tell us who it is.
Current SmackDown lead announcer, Kevin Patrick Egan, also of the MLS, also formerly of Bally's, formerly Fox Sports Atlanta? Is it or South,
Southeast.
South? Yeah, not West. Though.
Not West. Definitely not West.
I watch too much. watch too much Angels and
Fox,
Ducks.
Fox Sports North Georgia.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
Ocho.
He's formerly of everywhere, and he's currently of everywhere.
Yeah, you guys know who he is. We really did introduce him. But excited to have Kevin back. He'll be calling the match with Kendra D. St. Aubin on Wednesday for the Benz. And a little tidbit, Atlanta United have not lost a match with Kevin and Kendra in the booth at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Now, away from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that's another story because they call this Columbus Atlanta match at Lord.com Field. And then Kevin called the Leagues Cup match with I forget who, not Kendra, and they lost in the shootout.
Because the
Or penalty
pairing wasn't
shootout.
there.
I know the Perry wasn't there, but with Kendra in the building with whoever she's calling it with, and last time was Chris Whittingham, Atlanta United have outscored their opponents 11-2. 11-2.
All the good luck charms going on today and tomorrow.
Yes, and they're 3-0.
I think this is the first time as well that we have had the announcers calling together back to back, if I'm not mistaken. We had Kendra last week, and she's on it again this week. And then Kevin, of course, is joining back up with his classic partner, and they're both in for this one. So, but hometown folks excited about it.
We had what's his face for I think 2 games in a row. The personal Messi. Oh my
Jake
gosh,
Ziva?
Taylor Twellman.
Jake
We had
Ziva, Taylor
Twellman.
Twellman.
I think we had Twellman for back-to-back games there a while ago.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
That was
right.
when they had 2 or 3 in a row.
Right.
Yeah, but excited to have Kevin back, and always a great conversation, and he'll be coming up shortly. With that said, let's talk about the news, guys. A lot going on. Starting with an Atlanta United player being named to the being named the team of the match day, of course, but being named player of the match day, and this is not a repeat of last week, but yeah, so Atlanta United player is the player of the match day, and it is Thiago Almada with a goal and 2 assists. Could have had 2 goals and 2 assists.
Could have had
but
3 assists if he didn't
maybe
get robbed of that last one.
maybe. But no, player of the match day, beating out players like Ryan Gauld, who had a brace and an assist, I believe, for Vancouver against Portland. I think they take into account to the quality of the opponent. Like Portland's been awful this season, so to say the least. But yeah, I mean, Nashville, very credible opponent, of course, and Almada was the straw that really stirred the drink for Atlanta United, as he has been so many times. So yeah, Thiago Almada, player of the match day, not really much of a surprise. And I'll ask you guys this too. I asked Pineda this on Saturday, and he said, this is for you guys in the media. Oh, hold on, let me set it up. Pineda said, this is for you guys in the media to decide, you guys in the league and all of that. But Tyler, is Thiago Almada the MVP front runner right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I can quantify it if you want to, but yes. I mean,
go ahead. Quantify it for us.
I really do genuinely think really the only other one that you could create an argument for now as it stands would be Hany Mukhtar, because without him, Nashville is not anywhere near what they are. He is their main threat. Now, Sam Surridge coming in has made a difference, but he just got here. Hany Mukhtar has carried Nashville for seasons, and thankfully they have the defensive structure that helped them out with that, and they don't need a ton of attacking firepower. They just have to beat you once. That being said, when you take into account everything that Mukhtar's done, he has 3 penalties. Almada has 1, I think, and he's got a ton of assists, not to mention just the other little things like the big chances created, passes into the box, all of that. That is MVP. It's not just about scoring goals. So I think you could have had an argument for Denny Bouanga out at LAFC for a bit. He's kind of dropped off a little bit, but front runner for sure for me. And that's not being biased. That's just genuinely looking at all the stats and everything else.
Tommy, is Thiago Almada the MVP front runner for you right now?
Word.
Ditto.
Okay.
He said it all. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You
Moving on.
Game, right? You could tell in a game like on Saturday, like he is what makes this team go. Now it's more beautiful because while he was impressive, there were a lot of fans that were getting annoyed that he was maybe struggling a little bit there for a little bit, right? For a couple of those games. And it wasn't, I mean, he's been playing a lot, but everybody was focusing on Almada. Like Giakoumakis was in and out of the lineup. Giakoumakis was the national team. You had players in and out, left and right, and everybody was focusing on Almada. And he was still able to do a lot of the things that he was able to do, but he wasn't at that top of the league level. Now, you've got threats. You've got wingers. You've got Mayumba, that has come in. You've changed how everything is working right now with your offense. And now you're seeing Giakoumakis play better. You're seeing Almada play better. And, I mean, Josetu looks better, right? That's not something that was on my bingo card at the All-Star break, right? Like that was, it was not. And when you get a better starting lineup than what we had earlier in the year, and I said this in the ratings thing that we did on Sunday, this is more sustainable than what we had before, right? Like it was Almada, crazy free kick, Giakoumakis doing some, magical things. Now it seems if this can continue, you've got so much more to your offense than just two players. You've got them all working together. And this is basically with them only being together for some of them for 4 weeks. So if you can continue this and you can stay healthy and you can go into the playoffs with this, then I think you can go ahead and compete against anybody. But again, they've got to stay healthy and they need to continue building this relationship. If this is only a couple of weeks into the relationship, think what happens when they start going on a 4th or 5th date. It's It's gonna get nasty, guys. It's gonna get nasty.
That's a great analogy. I love it.
No, but to add on to that real quick, as other teams look at Atlanta, I mean, that's a scary thought. Like Almada has essentially trudged his way through the craziness of maybe not being surrounded by the players that are going to benefit him the most, and was still MVP caliber. But now you're getting those key pieces in, and you're getting the guys like Muyumba that's going to open up space for him. You've got wingers that are a threat that are going to open up space out wide. Man, if he wasn't cooking before, he's Gordon Ramsay now, buddy. It's going to be crazy.
And I think we got to give a shout out here real quick, because one of our listeners, Kevin from Charlotte, he's been very critical of how the front office is run. This man sent flowers to Carlos Bocanegra this week. And I thought when he said I sent flowers in there, I was like, oh, okay, like whatever. And then he actually showed us the order, like the receipt that he actually sent flowers to Carlos. Bravo, Kevin from Charlotte. He's got the Joseph candle, and he's got a heart of gold.
Kevin's hitting all the right boxes here, checking all the right boxes. So good for him. Good for him. What a guy. But yeah, I mean, people are saying in the chat too, and have said it on Twitter. They just said it the other day. Almada's surrounded by better players, and it's amazing what happens when you have great players on your roster to make things happen. And we're finally seeing that. And Tommy, you hit on it. Think about end of the season if this keeps going on. If they look pretty good right now, just think about a few weeks from now. Like he kind of said it as the chemistry starts to build. So I love the analogy about relationship. I think it fits perfectly. So
yep.
Yes, let's
consummate it in MLS Cup. Let's consummate this relationship in MLS Cup. Woo!
Exactly.
The wedding march.
Yeah, definitely. So that's Almada, team of the week. Congratulations. Giakoumakis got named to player of the match day last time against Seattle. Mata, of course, team of the match day along with Miles Robinson. Sean Da Silva was on the bench thanks to his overall performance against Nashville. What a goal. I mean, very underrated goal just from that angle, and first time just hitting it past Willis, the undercover cop, as we called him the other day. Yeah. No, just a really well taken goal by Shanda. Miles was terrific. Like we said, maybe not the best form this entire season, but showed again why he's a national team level center back and one of the top center backs in MLS. We need that Miles, that version of Miles down the stretch here. And of course, Almada, we already talked about him, so not sure what else you can say about Thiago Almada.
He's not going anywhere. Let's stop this narrative that's been going around for the past week, and Ajax taking them. He's going nowhere.
Not yet, at least.
Not this season. This season. I think people got a little scared. I think some people got really scared there for a little bit, but Atlanta United's not selling anybody.
Like, here's the thing, too, that people don't realize. Like, it's not just about offers not coming in. There are clearly offers coming in, and half of them we probably don't even know about, which is fine. Atlanta can't replace him right now, right?
Yeah.
Like that window's gone. Like they can get rid of him, and then they're going to tank the whole season. It's that simple. So unless the right offer comes in, and when I say the right offer, I mean like chef's kiss. Like I can't even try to turn that down. Then he's here. He's not going anywhere. And it just came out today again. Some of these sources, I don't know how reliable they are, talking about how he gave he told Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia no, mad respect. If he did, whatever, because I'm sure they probably offered him like $100 million or something.
$200 million.
Yeah, whatever. Like he's not going anywhere. And I just want to cue up that the Wolf of Wall Street. Like I'm not freaking leaving. I just want to hear him say that.
Thank you for keeping it family friendly. By the way.
Yeah. In the locker room, like if you guys haven't seen it on Twitter, like there was the question was asked by Doug, and I appreciate it so much, about the report that he had told the club he wanted to leave, and he said no. Like what was said was if the right offer comes, then I've got to talk to my family about it and make the right decision. And that's absolutely fair. So a lot of this, you know, oh, he's going to be going right now. Like, get out of here with that. That's not what's happening. So anyway, I'm done.
Yeah. No, I agree. And IX, however much Almada is going to be sold for, it's going to break a record. We all know that. So whether it's IX, whether it's Napoli, who we have heard a lot about recently, whether it's a Champions League team who is looking to add a piece as they enter the tournament, whether that is a team that comes into the conversation, it's going to be a massive amount. So LA United, best decision for them is to really just bide its time and look for the right offer, not just jump on the offer that makes them the most money, the right offer that benefits not just them, but him as well. So got to make sure that's the right fit for him. Also, can't just send him to a team and not be the right fit. Pulisic. But no, but yeah, it has to work for both parties. So Pulisic and Chelsea, by the way, I should clarify. But it just have to work for both parties. So Almada, team of the match day, player of the match day. So hopefully this is the best version of Thiago, or the version of Thiago Almada we're seeing right now is the version we get down the stretch. So congrats to Thiago.
Gotta give a shout out
to Miles. By the way, we have something going on. If you're listening to us after the fact, you got to watch the podcast. You want to watch us live on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. But Tyler, what's going on?
There is a battle of the Edgars going on in our chat right now, and I'm trying to see which Edgar is about to throw down. There he is. So it was asked who's going to the game tomorrow. Edgar said Edgar won. I guess I don't know. I will if I win the tickets. What do we got going on in a little while here, Sydney, with something that we put out yesterday?
Yes. Yeah, we have a giveaway coming up, guys. We're giving away 2 tickets to the Atlanta United FC Cincinnati match. And if you've been on Twitter, if you follow us on Twitter at Scarves, the Litter, and Spikes, you know all about the giveaway. And we will be doing that at the end of the show. So stick around, and we will announce the winner at the end. So
2 Edgars, 1 Scarves and Spikes chat.
Yeah. Indeed.
I'm gonna mute.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect timing, Mark. Finally here. What did I miss? No, Tommy's gone.
Johnny VL
fighting each other.
Johnny VL. As we stick with the news, no, congrats to we want to hit on Johnny real quick. Congrats to Johnny VL being named to the Mexican U18 squad. He'll be playing a trio of friendlies in Slovenia. Johnny, of course, with Atlanta United 2 and contributing with Atlanta United 2, has been for some time. A key player in that system. So congrats to Johnny, and hopefully he kills it in Slovenia.
You know, I think he's going to be. Johnny was referred to by El Futbolero in Mexico as Mexico's Ronaldinho back in January, which is big. I mean, those are big words. Like, you got to back that up. But if you don't watch the twos, get a chance, watch Johnny. He was injured for a while this year, but he's a talented kid, and he's still growing and still learning the game. And I'm excited to see where he goes.
The Mexican Ronaldinho. That is high praise. That's he's got to live up to it, like you said. But again, congrats to Johnny, and hopefully he does well with this call up. Real quick before we move on, and Kevin will be joining us shortly, we're going to talk about the overall vibes and presentation about or around the 4-4 kit. Of course, making its debut on Saturday. The theme around the game was throwback, kind of that throwback vibe, kind of like that Atlanta in the 90s vibe and all of that. Just is placed as a cultural capital of the United States, and the whole vibe was different than you normally would see for a Atlanta United match. So we'll just kind of hit on that real quick. I thought it was well done. I thought the presentation was terrific. Goody Mob performed at halftime, and Tyler still has his kit on. That he probably hasn't watched since the media game. But
I don't do laundry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but yeah, it's a great presentation. Hats off to the game day staff, the match day staff for putting that together and commemorating it. I mean, Atlanta, we love Atlanta. Atlanta has had such an influence on the cultural temperature of the United States through music, the arts, etc. And it's a great way to celebrate that, not just with the kit, but the overall match day celebration, sort of that throwback vibe. And then they put on a throwback performance, throwback going back to 2018. So let's hope that they throw it back to that
permanently.
And they throw it back to that, permanently. But I mean, Tyler, you were there. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, it was the little details too, right? Like it wasn't just that they kind of threw something together. Like the ring boards around all the stands are all decked out in this kind of like vibe. The scoreboard has the, spray painted letters of the teams that are playing up there, and it's got like the brick background. Obviously the Halo board is all decked out. The giant scarf on the Falcon out front is the 404 scarf. Like it was just really, really cool. And it was really, really well done. And we talked about our, thoughts on the kit and everything. It, like I said before, it's grown on me for sure. And I'm not just saying this because they gave me one. Like it's to me in person, it looks better. I still stand by what I said. Like, I think I would have liked to have seen something different, maybe with the spray paint type look, but anyway, and then Goody Mob. So Jack saying he's in London, got the kit, which is really cool. Mark saying love the halftime show. Two Spikes saying what was the halftime show? They didn't get to see it, and it was Goody Mob. Goody Mob came out and actually put on a performance for what felt like a lot longer than I expected them to put on a show for at halftime, and they killed it. I mean, they had the stadium up and moving, like people were, getting into it. It felt like a little mini concert, and it was cool seeing CeeLo in person. That was kind of unexpected.
I didn't know CeeLo Green was part of that group.
Now you know.
Yep.
Killer Mike, CeeLo, who else? Help me out, Tyler.
Oh man, dude, don't ask me that question.
All right, never mind.
I didn't even know CeeLo Green was on it. I can't believe the third one.
No, but no, it's great. No, I agree. It was great.
Fun.
Goody Mob is not my cup of tea personally, but I can understand and appreciate what they mean to the city of Atlanta and the cultural landscape of Atlanta. So I can appreciate that. Kind of, he hit the golden spike before the match. It was actually Monica who did the national anthem before the inaugural game back in 2017. I actually forgot she did it, by the way. But Monica hit the spike, and Killer Mike was there. But yeah, very well done. Loved it.
That was Brandy and Monica, right? Brandy and Monica, The Boy Is Mine.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
That sounds right.
You sounded so disappointed that I that I brought that up.
No.
That's the only way I know Monica. That's the only way.
No, I mean, I'm not.
Be proud of me. I knew something here.
No, well, I'm going to call myself Monica fan, but yeah, I think that's her. But yeah, she hit the spike.
My wife is texting me now. Yes, you're right, Tommy. There you go.
I will say this. The Tifo kind of didn't fit because it was Brad Guzan, and so he's big, he's bald on it. Didn't really fit the theme of the night. So
it had a brick wall behind it.
Yeah.
Did it?
No,
I thought he was the brick wall.
It didn't fit for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What do you say, Tommy?
It looked like he was a brick wall. Wasn't like part of him, like part of the Brad Guzan, like a wall? Or
I think so. I'll have to look back.
I didn't even see the wall behind it, but...
Well, they didn't need him to be a brick wall on Saturday. He didn't really do anything. He had like one save all day.
He had that one really good
But that was a big one. That was a huge save because at that point, it's 1-0 early on. And what do teams do when they come into Mercedes-Benz and they go up 1-0? You're going to lose. Like, that's usually what happens.
They're going to lock it down. And Nashville is the kings of doing that.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're such a
they
boring
weren't on
team.
Saturday.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And that's Nashville style. It didn't work on Saturday. Atlanta did a terrific job of exploiting them, and again, worst loss of their MLS history for Nashville. But very uncharacteristic Nashville performance. But hopefully it's a characteristic Atlanta performance down the stretch. But yeah, good night. A good night presentation-wise, and of course, on the field. So, yeah, I'm happy.
I'm happy too. And it was another one where, we mentioned player of the match day earlier. Match day 1, Thiago Almada. Match day 3, Caleb Wiley. Match day 4, Thiago Almada. Match day 27, Giacomakis. Match day 28, Thiago Almada.
It's pretty good.
That's big. And,
have
Almada's
any other teams had that many on player of the match day?
No. I'm trying to see. LAFC had a couple back-to-back in Denny Boanga and Vela. And then, let's see. Looks like Philly has had 2, 3. I think they're the second one. So
Atlanta does it better again.
Yes. Yes. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Hopefully more to come over these next few matches. 8 matches to go, right?
Yep. For Atlanta.
Pretty insane. The season's almost over, but then you have a break after Saturday's match. They aren't playing for another 2 weeks after they play Dallas, and then they have a break, and then they play Miami. So, it's gonna be kind of weird, to be honest with you.
It is really choppy here at the end. Really choppy.
Yeah. So, it's an odd setup, and you have the international break coming up toward the end of the season. So, very weird.
I found the winner of the Edgar battle.
Thank you, Edgar.
No, we appreciate it, Edgar.
GS. Yeah, thanks, by the way, for those, again, watching on the live stream. Thanks for your support. If you have a way to support us financially, leave a super thanks or a super like. And shout out to Edgar NAGS out in the West Coast for his support. And again, if you're listening to the podcast, you can support us on Patreon, or you can watch the live stream and go straight to our YouTube channel and leave a super like or a super thanks. We really do appreciate it. Super thanks. But let's talk about not Nashville. That was before. Let's talk about this match coming up against FC Cincinnati. And guys, we have someone on board who requires very little introduction. No introduction. Let's bring it on right now. Kevin Egan, how's it going?
Hey, again.
How are we? Thanks for having me.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Of course. Delighted to be here. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Just want to make sure in case it's coming through on this.
There we go. Much better.
There we go.
Perfect. Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, good to have you back. You've been a little busy over the past month or so, haven't you?
It's all good. It's a good busy. Very, very privileged, honestly, and lucky to be busy. So, you guys are all well, I assume. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes, looking forward to tomorrow. But I do have a bone to pick with you. I think the three of us have a little bone to pick with you. The last time you were here, last time you were at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Leagues Cup, Atlanta United losing in the shootout. What happened?
You're blaming me for that?
Not the team.
We'll get.
It could have gone anyway. It was.
I know.
I tell you what. How good was the Leagues Cup? For God,
yeah.
I mean,
sure.
You can imagine the Mexican sides are so motivated to head into next season, and for every MLS team now, the Leagues Cup and the US Open Cup, for that matter, has just been added tremendous amounts of value given what Lionel Messi is doing. I was in New York. I was at Red Bull Arena for the match at the weekend and at the Leagues Cup final before that, and just the atmospheres were outrageously good, especially Nashville, Philadelphia before that, Dallas before that too. Those fans really bringing it.
Yeah, no, it's a great tournament. Of course, just having a little fun with you, of course. But I want to ask you that first off. I mean, you were, like you said, at Red Bull Arena over the weekend. You were in Nashville for the Leagues Cup final. You've got to see Messi up close and personal for the past several weeks. I mean, for you as a professional, as a broadcaster, as a soccer fan, what's that been like for you?
Tremendously special because I had the opportunity to go and cover El Clasico for a few years with being
Right.
sports. So you're on the sideline of the Camp Nou of Santiago Bernabeu, and you're watching Messi do his thing. But I felt like a visitor being there, whereas now it felt like you were welcoming Messi into our home. You know, like there was that feeling of pride and just great joy watching the greatest player of all time take to Red Bull Arena, take to Chester, Pennsylvania, take to Nashville,
Yeah.
Tennessee, and Jodec Park, and it's just so cool to see. And it's so cool to see how invested he is. Watching Messi closely alongside Busquets in that first half, and how the two of them are just analyzing every detail of the game, so that when they come in, they're fully equipped to take over. And it didn't exactly work out that way. The Red Bulls had some decent opportunities. If they had better quality in the final third, they would have got something out of that game. But that Messi pass, man, I'm still watching replay after replay, and I still don't see the pass. I still don't see it. I still don't see how he completed that pass. There's one screen grab in particular that shows how Kramaski was so flat-footed as Messi played the ball, and Messi's already taken a full stride before Kramaski, it hits him and it hits John Tolkien. That wow, he actually meant that. We're in the midst of a very special time, a time that we'll talk about in 20 or 30 years from now. And I think it's just one of those moments where you realize, that, like, I know it's right there, but we're in the midst of the good old days in a lot of ways right now with our league.
He seems happy, doesn't he? Like compared to what he was the past couple of years. Like, and you were up close with him. Like, I don't know, what's that like? Because we've seen him on TV, right, with PSG, and it was just like something was wrong.
So I remember back at beIN Sports when I was over for El Clasico one time, we decided to do like a day in the life of Messi. So we went up, we knew where he lived, we knew where his house was. And I remember we drove up there and we found where his house was. And you could see, like, even on Google Maps, on the images, you could see the football pitch that he had in the background. You knew which house it was. Once you got there, you're like, yeah, that's his house. You know, like, it's not hard to do these days. As creepy as that is, it's not hard to pinpoint, like, from Antonella or Leo's Instagram. Well, those are the walls. That's the security cameras. That's the goal. And instantly I went up there and I thought, no, this is not right. Let's leave and let's go down out of the way of where he is and go down to his beach and say, this is a local beach or this is a local restaurant, and do it that way, because you realize how much he, one, was protected within his own community and his own surroundings, but two, how vulnerable a human being can be when you're that wanted by everybody, and you realize just what a special person he is, and you don't want to violate that at all. So I remember at the time we left and we went away and we did it differently, and it worked. It was a lovely piece in the end. But Leo Messi being here now, it's Messi mania. It's taken over, and it's just so cool to see. But at the same token, you want to make sure that he's respected, and that I just want to see him get through these few years and leave America, if he leaves, and be like, wow, that was a great time. That was just a special time where I progressed and I evolved as a player, and my legacy improved, and the game in the United States is left in a better place.
You could see when he scores goals, like, he's immediately looking at his kids at these home games and picking some Marvel character. You got to wonder which Marvel character's next at this point. He's got to do the Hulk, right?
Yeah, probably. And I think I went off, to be honest there, Tommy, on Tyler's last question about it, because I kind of went off on a tangent, but thinking about the family aspect of it, and now his family have these courtside seats, and back in Barcelona, like, his family were so far away up in a suite. You could never get that close, given the way the game is there, and Messi's a god in Barcelona. It's just so different here in the best possible way, and the fact that he can do those Marvel characters to his kids and have that smile on his face, and see, his little son Thiago seems like a real buzzer, to see Thiago having a laugh with them, from afar, and Messi's at the corner flag at Red Bull Arena waving to the fans that are right there. It seems like he's in a special place in his career, having won the World Cup, that weight lifted off his shoulders, and the weight of the PSG journey, which he clearly wasn't a fan of. So welcome to America, man. We're delighted to have you.
Yeah, it's exciting. You get everybody talking about it. Like, people you never thought you'd talk soccer with, all of a sudden are coming up to us and saying, hey, like, what is MLS? And then, like, you get the downside of, too, saying, oh, man, this guy is just making everybody look like terrible in MLS. He's scoring with ease. It's like, that's just the guy he is.
Well, I looked at La Liga highlights of Messi's greatest, and I looked at, France and national team stuff. Like, you tell Gvardiol, who's playing for Manchester City right now, who Messi turned and nearly broke his ankles at the World Cup, at 35 years of age that, you know, Messi only does that in MLS. He doesn't. He does it everywhere he goes. And I just think it's a tremendous compliment to the league that he's here now, and still very much. I know it's weird to say, but in his prime, in a very different way, because he's evolved as a player. It's just such a special time, and roll on Atlanta, because I firmly believe he'll play in every single game that he can possibly play, even if it's only for a half an hour, like we saw at Red Bull Arena.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's obviously the big question: will he play in Atlanta? It feels like the answer is yes. So I definitely agree with you there. But I know a lot of people are anticipating seeing him. I mean, look at the ticket prices. Look at the discussion online. So it's gonna be one of a kind. It's gonna be quite the spectacle here in Atlanta. Sort of switching gears, talking about Cincinnati, and one player I want to bring up, since we're all familiar with him, is Brandon Vasquez. Of course, maybe on the outside looking in Atlanta, for good reason. I mean, because Joseph really took the striker position by the horns, but then ended up in Cincinnati. Really tough times in Cincinnati. Wooden spoon team year in, year out. Last year, make the playoff for the first time, pushes for the Golden Boot, 18 goals. This year, maybe the numbers have taken a little bit of a downturn, but how important is a player like Brandon down the stretch for Cincinnati? Looks like they may have the shield sewn up. Atlanta would probably have something to say about that on Wednesday, but how important is he as they looked for that, not only that supporter shield, but possibly an MLS Cup altogether?
Yeah, he's going to have to be very important. And look, he's someone who has maybe taken a little bit of a step back this season. All in all, they're playing an awful lot more games, but he's going to have to step up in this final stretch for this team. It could very well be in Atlanta, because I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Bupenza gets a little bit of a break, or at least, maybe plays half and comes out and lets Brandon in. This team totally and utterly functions on Acosta, though. And Acosta's been, with Wobodo in behind, Wobodo's been an exceptional signing. Acosta's been different level, and Acosta's someone who we've spoken with Pat Noonan in the past, and he's like, in the same way that I'm sure Tata Martino's struggling with it with Messi, and Lionel Scaloni does too, they don't want to come off the field. And I guarantee you, Thiago Almada is the exact same way, and Acosta doesn't want to come off. And Cincinnati are a better side with him. However, this game here now in Atlanta is an interesting one for me, because you've got to win your home games. If you're Cincinnati, to win the Supporter Shield now, you win your home games, and you see out the Supporter Shield, and you guarantee those home playoff games by winning the Supporter Shield. So winning those home games is everything right now. And I don't want to lessen the importance of this game tomorrow night in Atlanta, but if I'm Pat Noonan, their record on turf is horrendous. I believe they've one win on turf in total. It's a midweek game in Atlanta, Georgia, when Atlanta are rolling right now. This represents a really tough game for Cincinnati. Atlanta with some fresh new signings that are feeling pretty good. Come on, say goodnight. Quickly, quick. Guys, we've someone here that needs to say.
Oh, we got a special guest. This is awesome.
We've someone here that needs to say. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
You go now.
Oh, she's shy.
Let it go.
Hi.
Let it go.
So, funny story, real quick, Kevin.
Yeah.
Today, we got my daughter's ears pierced,
No way.
and I almost cried, man. I'm not gonna lie. So,
All right, now I say bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Yeah,
There
we go.
go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's going straight to the audio board, trying to play with the buttons. I just think it represents an incredibly challenging game for Cincinnati, more so than Atlanta. If you're Pat Noonan, you've struck gold. Everything has gone well. And the key for me with Cincinnati is the culture. Like, the culture they've built. Let's just give our props to this club for a second. You've perfectly mentioned this, Sydney, that back-to-back wooden spoons have to be, and I have not done the research on this, but they have to be the worst sports franchise in the history of the United States professionally. Like, for the first 3 seasons. What other professional sports team comes in and finishes dead last year on year on year?
Right.
Then they figure it out. Key signing, Chris Albright. Chris Albright comes in, tremendous track record of Philadelphia, comes in, has that wonderful relationship from their playing days and friendship with Pat Noonan. Pat Noonan is so comfortable within his own skin as a young coach that he goes and hires. And how many coaches do this? Hires a guy like, Kinnear, a guy like Kenny Arena, these guys that have more experience than he does. You know, Kinnear is a former MLS Cup winning manager that he has on his staff. So it speaks to the maturity. It speaks to his willingness to learn, that he's not a know-it-all. And then Pat Noonan is just so comfortable within his own skin. And he's good players. Like Miazga's worked out to be a great signing. I think Wobodo is one of the signings of the year. He's going into last year too. He's been exactly what they needed. And Chris Albright said he's the player that allows us play in a different way. And then look, Acosta's been tremendous. Bupenza, they hope to have success with. They're a very good side that could absolutely get a good result in Atlanta tomorrow. But I just think the game is swinging in Atlanta's favor, given what's on the line, given the heavy legs, and given the fact that Atlanta then go on the road to Dallas, which represents a really tough game. So for Atlanta, it's more important to win your home games too and to get a good result tomorrow night.
You know, we were looking at the odds, and it kind of surprised us because Atlanta is actually the favorite, and I don't think that was the case. Yeah.
Wow.
Before the other day with the Nashville match. What about that match and Seattle, if you want to throw that one in there, but what has stood out to you with Atlanta? I mean, you covered them obviously, and you've seen it all.
Shape and identity. All of a sudden now I'm looking at this team. I'm like, okay, wow, you're playing a four, you call it a 4-2-3-1 if you want, but Mayumba's so up and down, attack minded. You've got a very identifiable 6 in Osetu right now, very identifiable 8, natural width. Ahmad is getting more space. Giakoumakis wants to get in behind. All of a sudden, that field's looking so much bigger, and you're not having Araujo cutting inside every time, Marcelino Moreno cutting inside every time, a congested midfield area. Who's the 6? We're not so sure. Who's the 8? We're not so sure. There's so many answers within what we're seeing right now that makes for a very exciting team. Like I think this team is so much fun. I watched the game yesterday because I was doing the game up at Red Bull Arena, so I didn't get to see it live. And I watched the game yesterday, and I was just like, this is what the fans want in Atlanta. Like this is the team is doing exactly what Gonzalo Pineda always said he wants the team to do, which is on the front foot, exciting soccer, going after plenty of goals. And in turn, what happens? You keep clean sheets because when you're better with the ball, you're a better defensive team. So all in all, it was just a really fun game against a Nashville side that hadn't lost 4-0 before. Like that's their worst result in franchise history. And now you could put, back-to-back wins and potentially clean sheets in all 3. And that would be for the first time since 2019. Atlanta United have only done it twice in their history, 2017 and 2019. In 2019, the team actually, remember, they won 5 straight while keeping 5 straight clean sheets under Frank de Boer. So let's see if they can bag a 3rd tomorrow, which would be an incredible run against 3 really good teams.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat. It just speaks to maybe what you're talking about. Maybe the defense hasn't been, well, not maybe, but defense really hasn't been as good as it was in past years. Atlanta would just make these silly mistakes in the back, and I'm sure you've been keeping track. They've given the points early in the season, valuable points that would have had them higher up in the table had they held on. But it's definitely interesting. If you're scoring goals, right, it takes more pressure off the defense because you're not having to nurse those 1-0 leads, 2-0 leads. You can kind of play a little bit more pressure free, knowing that maybe you're a little bit out of sight, your attack is clicking. And I said it, and I still feel it. It feels a little bit like 2017 and 2018 with this team, where everything seems to be kind of clicky. You have a very strong striker. You have a very strong attacker. You have skill, depth at the wings. Well,
come on, you're jumping ahead here.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Let him jump, Kevin. Let him jump.
I'm all in on this positivity, but 2 wins. Like they were knocked out of the League's Cup in the group stage, and before that, we're losing in league play. So
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
What?
My only point is, I'm with you. The sensation, the feeling is good.
Right.
The signings are good, and there's loads of good signs in the last 2 games.
But
now is the key. Now, you're like, all right, the fan base are all over this team. Huge crowd there the other night. Like this is a big game tomorrow for Atlanta United to prove. Are they like a flash in the pan that win away in Seattle, win home, and then slip up at home against Cincinnati? Or can this team put together a really strong victory and a strong, solid defensive performance? And just to your point about scoring goals and having fun with that, I found this. I was looking through the wins this season. 11 victories this season. Guess what the goal differential is in those 11 victories? What would you guess?
0?
No. What would you guess?
-5.
No,
Well, he's saying in the wins.
In the wins.
whoa.
In the 11 victories this season for Atlanta United in MLS play, the goal differential is plus 25.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In 11 wins, this team has scored 29 goals and conceded 4. Like, I'm like looking at this going, when this team wins games, like that's in many ways part of the struggle sometimes with tight games, is that the defensive errors that have cost the team, as you mentioned, Sydney. But when this team gets going, like this team can blow teams out of the water, like 29 goals. 20. I've got one more to say hi. Quick change.
Hey, there we go. Oh, we're getting the whole crew tonight.
I know.
Yeah. Are you getting ready for bed? We got tired, boy. We were out running around tonight. So Mario's here to say hi as well.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got Mario.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a Yoshi.
I got
You
Yoshi.
got Yoshi on the
Had
screen.
Mario.
Hey, that's awesome.
Hank runs outside to our neighbors and he'll shout across the road. What do you shout to them? What do you shout? He goes, Atlanta! And they all shout. And then back and forth across the road, we've got all the road doing the Atlanta United chant.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
But when I do
Love
that,
it.
it's creepy.
So, so
No.
it's going to be a very fun game tomorrow.
Yeah, and the question is, can they build off it? I mean, because you're absolutely right. I mean, they could go very wrong against Cincinnati. You could be back at square one. So, yeah, can they build on it? Can they build the momentum?
I think they can.
Yeah, overall question.
I'm not gonna. Hey, you sit over here. You've got a big day tomorrow. Big day. I'll be right.
Big one.
They just back at school, both of them. Same as yourself. Your kids, Tyler, I'm sure too. But I think tomorrow, like, I'm intrigued to see the lineup. I'm intrigued to see where Gonzalo's head is at here. I'm intrigued to see if Lobenice, I have to say that properly, is in the 11, because I'm excited by him and I think he's a natural fit in this team. But it's hard. You're not going to take Silva out right now, and you're probably leaving Mosquera in, and elsewhere, Muyumba's the star in midfield. Like, in terms of the signings, this team did not have a player of Muyumba's profile elsewhere. Like, am I wrong or right? Think about it. Like, the players that this team had, Ibarra certainly didn't have the ability to go up and down and the class. Like, he's got that Nagby, and I'm not comparing him to Nagby in a way, but that Nagby
It's okay.
defense to attack transition, that ability to spring and attack. And
He's
then
constantly moving.
and then follow it up. Exactly. Yeah,
100%. Tommy, what you got?
Well, Kevin, I was just going to ask you before you go. I know you moved over. This is me, the wrestling nerd here, real quick. So you move over to SmackDown. So how does your weekends now, with going to wherever SmackDown is, immediately to MLS? How has that affected your travel?
How does Santa Claus get down the chimney? You just you find a way. Like, I'm joking. It's been great. It's been brilliant. And Friday nights are a lot of fun. And you figure it out. I'm fine with flying. Like, flying day of, flying cross country, like getting work done on the plane, whatever it is. Anyone with kids will tell you that flying alone is a luxury. Like, flying alone is, you find yourself being very productive. So no, it's been fine. I'm looking at my schedule ahead. I've got my schedule for many weeks ahead now, and it's all fine. There's nothing. There's no, like, SmackDown in California and then a game in Montreal. There's none of that on my schedule for now, which is nice. So I was slated originally to do the Atlanta Nashville game, and that changed about a week beforehand for me to do the hosting for the Messi game, and then I'll have this one, hopefully another Atlanta United game before the season's out.
Are you doing MLS on Saturday, or are you doing the pay-per-view?
360. I'm doing 360
Okay.
in studio. Yeah. So I'm just on SmackDown. That's my schedule right now for WWE, which is great. And then one day maybe do pay-per-views. We'll see. But for now, it's SmackDown and head to soccer the next day. So I'll
Awesome.
go. Yeah. How's the show going for you guys? Is it all going well?
It's going really well. We've been look every week, sometimes twice a week. I mean, with the midweek games and everything, and God, we've grown so much since the last time you were here, man. We've got
Nice.
Patreon and everything else, and we're about to give away tickets for the match tomorrow. So
Beautiful. What's
Yeah.
How do you what are you doing for the tickets?
Actually, Tommy, I don't know if you've got the thing ready, but we were just doing like retweet, like whatever, on YouTube and Twitter. But Tommy's got this fancy wheel, like Wheel of Fortune type deal.
I do.
And it just spins, and everybody that did it, their name's on there, and then if they win, then they get the tickets.
Nice. Well, hopefully I'll see you guys there tomorrow night. Yeah, I'll see you open. Oh, this is it. Look, who's in there?
The wheel of prizes here. Gotta love it.
If you just tell me when, Kevin, I'll hit the button.
You want to do it now?
Sure, you're here.
Is this happening? Are we doing it now?
You want to call it? All right, not to put you on the spot or anything.
No. So you're telling me to say go, or I'll tell you when to say stop.
Tell me when.
All right, go for it.
And then whoever it lands on, you can give whatever kind of announcement you want to give.
All right. Oh, this is a big moment here. This is a big. Oh,
we just talked.
Kevin from Charlotte's an absolute legend. Love that guy on Twitter. Well done, Kev. Fair play to you.
There we go.
Congratulations, Kevin.
So Kevin, real quick, there's Kevin and Kevin. I thought I messed up there. So I'm falling apart now. So Kevin from Charlotte shared with us earlier in the week that he was so happy with the transfer window, what Carlos Bocanegra did, he sent him flowers.
And he legit sent him flowers to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
He legit sent him flowers, thanking him for a great transfer window.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right,
don't know if they'll make it through security or not, but
whatever you're into.
And now look what happens.
Hopefully someone's watering.
And now he wins tickets.
Yeah, it's been a good transfer window though. For now, again, it's one of those ones like you're only as good as your last game. So plow on. Like this is an opportunity to get that statement win. Head to Dallas with that momentum. And if you're Cincinnati right now, you're buzzing. You're buzzing because everyone's doubting you. And then you go out and you bang in the goals last day, pick up another 3 points. St. Louis lose. So you create that gap. It's even further now at the top of the Supporters Shield. And Cincinnati could clinch tomorrow night. There's an opportunity for Cincinnati with a win. And so if Cincinnati win, actually, full stop, period, they clinch tomorrow. And if they draw, if Cincinnati win, they're in tomorrow. And if Cincinnati draw, there's several different. I'm just looking at my board here. I'm getting going on like where they'll need like the Red Bulls draw or loss, the Fire draw or loss, and Charlotte draw or loss. So likely they won't clinch tomorrow. But if they win, they'll clinch. So it could be a big night for Cincinnati tomorrow night too.
No, it's not going to be. So
something on the table for Cincinnati, and again, we'll see if Atlanta has something to say about it. Kevin, we gotta let you lose, but thanks as always for coming on. Really appreciate it. Always a lot of fun.
Guys.
And
hopefully back on again if I get another game here in Atlanta. I love doing the home games.
Man, you're welcome anytime. It's always fun with you. So
Absolutely.
we appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. You ever need anyone else, let me know. I know Kirk at MLS is great at connecting with guys, and
I'm
in doing 360 this Saturday, so I'll say to some of the guys there too.
There you go. Sweet.
We'll do.
We appreciate it. And,
cheers, guys.
We will see you at the Benz tomorrow.
See you at the Benz tomorrow. How lucky are we to be?
I know.
Working football games. This is the best.
It really is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Chat to you later. Right. Take care.
Thanks. Cheers, Kev. Thank you.
All the best, guys. Take care. Bye.
Cheers. Thanks.
Kevin pick Kevin.
Egan. I know. I mean, Kevin from Charlotte is having like all the luck.
He's having a banner year.
Oh yeah, he won the Joseph Candle. Wow.
We gotta put in like some rules or something. But no.
What rules?
Yeah.
Right now, only Edgar's winning the next one.
Board. He's just winning it all.
Can't win within 30 days or something like that. But no. Cheers, Kevin.
He still would have won.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah. Right. No, that's true. That's true. But congrats to Kevin from Charlotte. Thanks to Kevin Egan for coming on, and looking forward to this call from Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Wednesday.
Said respin. I can't get there.
Is that the Kevin? We have to make sure it's just not a random Kevin trying to give away Kevin from Charlotte's tickets. Kevin, what kind of flowers did you send?
Right.
Yeah.
Where's the screenshot?
No, but we'll reach out to Kevin and get him his tickets, and I hope he enjoys the match. Speaking of the match, let's talk about the match. As Kevin Egan said, there's something in it for Cincinnati. They can clinch playoffs with a victory against Atlanta United. And I'll run through these super quick. So if they win, as Kevin said, they're in. If they draw, They'll need Red Bulls to lose or draw, Chicago to lose or draw, and Charlotte to lose or draw, or Red Bulls to lose or draw, Chicago lose outright, Charlotte to lose or draw, or Red Bulls lose or draw, Chicago draw, and Charlotte lose outright. So, yeah, if they lose, I mean, there's a lot of, or if they lose, they can't clinch, but if they draw, they'll need a lot to fall into place. But, yes, Kevin was saying, this is a chance to make a statement, and granted, he mentioned Cincinnati isn't best on turf, artificial surfaces. So maybe that works into Atlanta United's advantage just a bit. And not to like make any proclamations about MLS Cup or anything like that, but this kind of has a bit of a feel to it. I'll just say that, a bit of a feel to it if you squint hard enough. So this is a way for Atlanta to really put their stamp on things and, yeah, really show the league that, hey, we're here to make noise and we're not just a flash in the pan like Kevin was talking about, but we have a chance to really put our stamp on things and make a push further up the table. If they win tomorrow, if they win on Wednesday, I believe they can move up as high as, I'm just pulling it up at this current point in time, you move up to as high as second. They'll need a lot to fall into place. And yes, Philly has 2 matches in hand. New England have 2 matches in hand. Orlando Columbus match in hand. So, yeah, numbers-wise, you could be up as high as second, but at the same time, other teams are ahead of you who have played fewer matches. So, yeah, you can still make a claim up the table, but this is a chance for Atlanta to really stake its claim.
It's just a matter of controlling your destiny at this point. You've got to win the games that are in front of you, and if you do, then you're going to be in that top 4 spot. It's so close right now, right? I mean, you still have a lot of Eastern Conference games to play, and this is your opportunity to start whittling away at that gap. And you've whittled away the gap. You're closer to where you need to be than you are closer to the playoff line, which is not the same as it was coming out of Leagues Cup, right? So you've made a pretty good statement against Seattle away. I mean, any away win is massive, but a away win 3,000 miles away against one of the best teams is really good. Nashville, best defensive team. You walloped them, gave them their worst loss ever at home. That's amazing. Cincinnati's the Supporter Shield, at this point, yeah, like you and Kevin have been talking about. They're on the cusp of clinching it. If you can win tomorrow, you beat essentially the best team in the league right now as it stands. Not talking about Miami, Messi. This is good. This is a good place to be. This is a good opportunity. And that's another statement win if there was one, for sure, if you get it tomorrow. And I think they will.
Yeah.
And it's another game where if you can get them out early at home, like we did. I mean, Nashville kept trying to get back into that game. But if you can knock them out of this game early, then maybe you start giving some players some rest. Because, when we talked to Boston, I mean, a small spoiler here, but he said, like, this team has just like the Nashville situation. They've played a lot. Acosta's, refuses to get subbed out. He's played a lot of soccer. I think this is a big one here, especially for Atlanta, is to just get off on the right foot early, get them out of the game, make them do some substitutions. They're short some guys. They're not fully healthy. We're pretty healthy. This is one of the healthiest we've been. I mean, I think Ozzy Alonso is there. And, someone brought this up earlier, and I think earlier in the week, Machop Chol, he's hurt, but he's not even on the injury report, which I thought was interesting that he's just kind of disappeared. I'm not sure what that's all about, but
I'm wondering if that's one of those instances where they know that they're not going to use him anyway, so they're just leaving him at home. They don't really have to put him on the injury. I don't know. It is a weird situation because I don't know that there are rules in terms of having to put a player on the list if you're not planning on incorporating them in any way, Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird situation.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing okay. I mean, he's in the kit.
Yeah, Yeah.
photos.
Yeah. So
how do we
really
feel
quick,
about the nickname? How do you feel about
real
the
quick.
nickname Choppy? By the way,
Hank,
or
choppy.
Chop Chol.
It's choppy.
Yeah.
It's really choppy. I don't like it.
You don't like it? You don't like
No.
I
Chop?
like Machop. It's a Pokemon.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll roll
Choppy.
with Machop. Then.
I don't know.
Or
Choppy.
Chop.
Chopper, maybe. I'm
Okay.
going Star Wars now with that one, but
I mean, when he scores, he's Machamp.
yeah.
There you go.
See, I
What you
like
got,
this.
Tyler? Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I have some stats for the stat nerds real quick. There we go. Machop Chol. Wow, look at that.
I just
CP
named
on
my
that one,
Pokemon
man.
after him at these days.
That's good stuff. Right now, if you look at the team leaders and stats between Atlanta and Cincinnati, the two names that are prevalent on that sheet are Thiago Almada and Luciano Acosta. Just to give you guys an idea, goals, Atlanta, Giacomakis at 12, Acosta at 12. Assists, Almada 13, Acosta at 10. Shots, Almada 90, Acosta 60. Shots on goal, Almada 33, Acosta 30. And then there's still 4 more where they're just going like head to head with so many things. And Almada's edging him out on most of them. But if it tells you where this battle is going to be tomorrow, that's all you got to look at. This is going to be a big deal between these two. And you put your faith in Thiago because you know he has, like we talked about earlier, he has slodged through not maybe having the best players around him to do what he needs to do. Acosta has all season been a part of a team that's about to win this, possibly about to win the Supporter Shield. So, like, if that tells you anything, it's that Almada, now that he's got these guys around him, they just absolutely destroyed the best defensive team in the league. You've got an advantage tomorrow. And I feel that those numbers for Almada are about to shoot way, way up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's going to be a big matchup in that midfield. I mean, 2 MVP caliber players. And I feel like we talked about earlier, Almada may have the edge over Acosta. He already gave the stats, Tyler, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find out what other matches are going on that same day. Just kind of pulling the MLS schedule. Probably the big one, Miami versus Nashville, the League Cup final rematch. New England Red Bulls, that's another big one. I mean, looking at the schedule, maybe not really a lot of other matches as big, except for Miami versus Nashville, then Atlanta, Cincinnati. I feel like that's the one that neutrals are going to be really taking a look at. So any other week with any other player than Messi out there, it's probably the match of the day right there for you. But yeah, a lot of eyes are going to be on that, and probably Miami, Nashville from a neutral standpoint, because you have Almada, you have Acosta, who is also in MVP form, and yeah, it's going to be quite the match.
Yeah, once
Which
I think
team
you get
will?
to the
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think
Go
once
for
you
it.
start getting to that Atlanta Miami game, then it's like it's game on the standings watching, because you're just there at that point. You have so many, matches coming up against teams that you're playing, that are in your range to catch up on, that are like 6-point games. That's when I think it's really going to start becoming real. Like, okay, can we really be that top 4 seed here and legit have that home field advantage for at least the first round? I think that's the most important part there, and I think that this team could get there. But I think once you get back from that break and then you play Miami, and who knows what happens against the Miami game. Like right now, I mean, I think Tyler loves writing his fan fiction. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different crazy ways that game could even happen, but it's going to get exciting here once we get back from that long break.
But yeah, no, for sure. And again, kind of weird break because it kind of stops your momentum just a little bit. And we already talked about it. September 2nd, Saturday against Dallas, and then you have to sit on a 2-week break. So maybe that stopped the momentum just a little bit. But let's see, you got to beat Cincinnati first, and then beat Dallas, or at the very least get a good result against them. And Dallas pushed Miami to the limit. And Dallas may be a little fragile after blowing that leading in Leagues Cup. But yeah, they're fighting for their playoff lives. So not to look ahead, but yeah, you got to beat Cincinnati on Wednesday to give yourself, more momentum going on the road to Frisco against FC Dallas. But do we want to talk predictions, scoreline predictions? How are we feeling?
2-0.
Atlanta, right?
Yep. 3 clean sheets in a row.
I know. Man,
Feasible.
Man, see, I'm not even going to guess that, because then if they do it, that means you're still one up on me in the predictions. I'm going to go 3-0 Atlanta.
Okay.
I think they can.
Spicy.
I think they can pull off 3.
Yeah, I think there may be a few goals in it. I said that last time they won 4-0. Cincinnati definitely have goals in them. They beat NYCFC 3-0. I mean, it probably speaks more about NYCFC than it does about Cincy. They put 3 on Nashville earlier in the season before the league break, or the Leagues Cup break. Put 3 in Toronto. Again, probably says more about Toronto than it does about Cincinnati. But it's kind of weird that they lost to DC 3-0 on the road and drew Charlotte 2-2 on the road. Just take a look at their road results. 1-1 on the road against Vancouver on the other side of the continent. So maybe the form on the road is not as sound or as strong as it is at home. Definitely not. They've never lost at home in MLS play. But just 4-3-5 away from TQL Stadium. So that definitely plays into it, that this team hasn't quite gotten it together away from their home ground. So I say there could be goals in it. But I think ultimately Atlanta wins 3-1. I think they continue this strong run of form that they're in. They'll need to deal with Acosta, obviously MVP candidate, Lupinsta, the new signing that's kind of getting his feet underneath him. And if they can do that, they really have half a chance to win. So 3-1 Atlanta United. Of course, let us know on Twitter, X.
Yeah.
What you think?
Whatever that
at Scars and Spikes. Whatever it's called now.
You got Edgar, one of the Edgars, saying 2-1 to the good guys. 2 Spikes saying 3-1. Gene saying
John
3,000.
Paul 3,000-0.
Mark 3-0. Dak 3-1. So he's agreeing with Sydney. Zilf 2-2. Acosta and
2-2.
Almada both have a brace. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Edgar Castillo.
Edgar Castillo. It's not the Edgar Castillo, right? From MLS. For MLS
maybe.
defender. John Paul say for real 3-0. So and then Daniel say 3-2 Atlanta. So a lot of positive pro Atlanta sentiment in the chat. And again, if you're watching after the fact, let us know in the comments. If you're listening, let us know on our Twitter feed at Scars, the letter N Spikes. But guys, we have a little situation with these tickets. Right?
Tom, what happened?
The wheel is back.
The wheel is back. Why is it back?
Kevin cannot make the game. So we've decided we are going to spin this wheel again. And
come
let's
on,
see what
Kevin.
happens.
You got it. Yeah, come down from Charlotte to make it, man. But the wheel is spinning right now. And it's landed
We don't have Kevin here
on
to call it again.
J.E. Winters, our guy. Congratulations.
Now we got to get in touch.
Congrats.
Good
Yes.
stuff. I'll do another clap. Woo!
That is our legitimate stone cold winner of the contest. I hope J.E. Winters can make it, by the way, because we'll have to do a third spin if he can't, and don't want a fourth or fifth spin or anything like that. But
This is
Me and the
why
wheel will always be here.
stick around.
we'll
Yeah,
always be here.
don't actually.
But yeah, we'll get in touch with you on Twitter or X. We'll send you a DM and let you know or try to get your tickets to you.
Edgar's tried so freaking hard, man.
Sorry, Edgar. Edgar, next time. But yeah, congrats, Jay Winters, or Jew Enters, as he calls himself on Twitter. But yeah, we'll be in touch, and be sure you get your tickets. But I think that's it. Do we have anything else to add tonight, or in this episode? We all feeling good about Wednesday, Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I know Kevin's telling us to calm down, but when you look at what we've come from, you know, over the past, I mean, basically from the beginning until now, you just can't help but get excited. And the more I hear about this 2-week break, and yes, there's a chance your momentum can go away, but that's more chances for this team to gel at practice, right? Like Saba, it just got thrown in there. He hasn't had much time to play with this team. He's going to have 2 games, and they're going to assess what this looks like, and then you're going to be ready. And then you get your last transfer in, right? I mean, he's still not even here.
Yeah.
So that's great.
TRA still waiting for his visa. So hopefully that comes. You have a
In Senegal.
yeah, hanging out in Senegal. So hopefully that visa gets taken care of. But you're waiting for him to get here. Tyler, how are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling positive about it. I think, you know, what we've seen over the past couple matches, the team just has some attitude that they haven't shown in a while. They have some flair. They have some excitement. And most importantly, they look like they're having a good time. And I think not only did you bring in guys that fit the team in terms of just being, you know, the right fit tactically and understanding and everything else, but you've got personalities that just, they want to win and they want to have fun and they want to enjoy it. And they thrive, most importantly, off of playing in those big stadiums, big arenas. And there's not one bigger than Mercedes-Benz. And I think it's going to go a long way. The team just looks very strong in every way. It would be one thing had they gone out and won, you know, 2-1. They still gave up a goal and made it scary in Seattle. Or, you know, had they went down initially against Nashville, which became very close to happening. But they didn't, and then they didn't let it affect them. They went out and they just absolutely annihilated them. So, like, it shows a little bit of fight and a little bit of just extra stuff, you know, like Michael Jordan's water and Space Jam. Like, they've got it, you know. And I'm just excited. Like, I think they really can come out. Everything's really, not everything, but a lot is stacked against Cincinnati. Like we talked about, like, they don't play well on turf. They don't really play that well away. I mean, they could pull out a draw maybe, and I think that's what they're hoping for. But Atlanta has the firepower to just end this quickly, and they should, especially coming off the past 2 matches. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to go Atlanta's way again. And we're going to be having a really, really interesting conversation very soon about their chances coming up into the playoffs.
What if that's what someone did on the trading ground? They just labeled a like a thermos or a cooler with secret stuff. It's just water.
I almost
like
did
it was
that
in the
at the
movie.
media game. It's going to get me through this. It's
Good
so
way to
hot
get thrown
outside.
out. Tampering with club equipment. But yeah, feelings are good, and I hope that things carry on a little bit longer. As for what kit they're wearing, I'll have to check. I believe I heard
It's
it's
404.
404 kit. Is 404 kit.
Ariel saying is
hopefully
404 kit
Atlanta
or not.
Atlanta can. Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. I found out
I'd say
Wednesday.
it is.
Okay, well,
I want to see it in
shall
person.
find out.
Like I was drinking a lot on you know on the game on Saturday watching. I was like looking at it. I was like I don't want to see it on you. Sit down. I want to see it in person. So when I come to the stadium, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, maybe not, and then I might purchase it. Depending on how that game goes, maybe I'll go afterwards and buy it. But it
It's
definitely
great.
won me over
Do it.
seeing so
Do it
many
anyway.
celebrations and backflips. I loved it.
Yes.
It looks great when you're doing
Yeah.
backflips. I can't do a backflip though.
we need another Sean the Silva back flip on Wednesday.
Yes. That would be great.
Hopefully another goal. Hopefully plenty of goals.
I'm okay if him and Saba both score another goal. You know how amazing that would be? I'm here for it. And the chances are there, right?
Me too.
Dak, I think you're talking about Tiare. I think you're talking about Tiare. He is a member of the team. It's Sean Da Silva that is on loan until the end of the season, allegedly. I think he's going to get picked up too, but Sean Da Silva is on loan at this point.
You got to sign him after that.
Yeah.
After 2 games, like right now, I'm already writing the check.
Yeah. He's done things he's supposed to do. He's done it all. I mean, he scored a goal. He's been in dangerous spots. He's put, I think, like 5 shots on goal in 2 matches. Yep. Like that's more than Arujo
in 2 years.
Stuff. Well, probably not.
Throwing it out there.
In my mind, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other were shots on the 200 section.
He cooed it. Like he should be playing for the Falcons.
All right. Shall we get out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow with I think we're doing a pre-show again for lineups.
Yeah, we'll have a pre-show before the match, 6:30 Eastern time on our YouTube channel. Please watch. Please participate. Whether you're at the stadium, whether you're watching from home, please participate. Love to see you.
100%. You get to see the awesome Benz in the background.
Indeed. And congrats to Jay Winters, by the way.
Yes.
And Kevin.
For the tickets.
And
Kevin Egan. And our folks who are watching and listening. Yeah. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Peace, guys.